Good morning, amazing artists. So we have been talking about Inuk art and a very famous Inuk artist, Kenojuak. And here's one of the birds that she is so famous for creating, the owl spirit. I wanted you to have a chance to create with some scratch art. So if you had a chance, I hope you went to the store, got some crayons, got a little acrylic paint, made your own on heavyweight paper, or just bought some. It is $1 at the dollar store. For example, if you scratch with this push pin, see we get some pretty nice designs. Here's a bobby pin. It does pretty well. It's a little wobbly, but I think it's doing a good job scratching this paper. And I also got a paper clip. I know at home you may not have toothpicks and you may not have a stylus. So you see all those tools work really well for scratching our paper. My favorite though is the push pin. My favorite is the push pin because I can grab it a little bit more easily here. It doesn't wobble quite as much. So with that established, let's take a look at our art. We have an owl filled with beautiful texture. These are small lines. It has a corolla of these nice circular oval shapes that are filled in a bit in the middle to create some contrast. So I'm going to start with my plain sheet of paper and size up my owl. Not the middle. I want to put him on one side, and of course you can do the other way. Here's a sneak peek at the other design I created. You'll notice that it is more horizontal. We call this a landscape, and the owl is right over here, so it is your choice, amazing artist. I'm going to put a dot where I want to start, as usual. I think that's a good place to start the beak. So I put a little round spot, and go down and down. Look at my little push pin. And I have the beak. I think I'll move this to the opposite side. You can see it more easily. So right next to the beak, I have two eyes. Using your scratching tool of choice, you want to make two circles. Now I notice when I use this push pin, I have to lift it a little bit because it does want to poke through my paper. So for the push pin, I'm going to need a more gentle hand. You know, I was pushing a little hard. Two eyes to the right and left of my beak. After I've created eyes, I'm going to create the nice pattern of the face. So those are curved lines. Two beneath the beak with the beak in the center, two on top of the beak with the beak in the center, and now the owl's face is ready to come together. Line, line, nice curve on top, and a nice curve on the bottom. We've created the owl's face. From here, we're going to make the wing. So feel free to put a nice curved line right next to that face. We're going to finish it with a curved line over the top, and it's going to meet right over here on the side of our paper. So I'm going to start over here. You'll notice, amazing artists, my lines don't always meet perfectly. I hope that's an invitation to you to make a mistake. You know, everybody makes them. They're part of creation. Some of us actually exist because of a little mistake. So I wouldn't say that mistakes are all bad in creation. Let's see. There's the bottom of the wing. Created the tops and bottoms of the wing. I'm going to make the body of our little friend. I'll put a curved line coming from the bottom of the wing. That's going to be the beginning of the tail. And I want to put a nice curve for the chest and two little legs down here on the bottom. So I think I'll create the curve starting from the back this time. You know, but the other times I've drawn this, I've created the curve starting in the front, so you just follow your heart with this one. And at the push pin, I continually adjusting my hand So if you have to adjust your hand a lot of times, that's pretty normal. Looks like I have a body. Time for the tail. It's sort of like a fish, isn't it? And it's just a solid feathery tail. The body is complete. Let's add some feet. Let's try a different scratching tool while I'm at it. I'm going to try the bobby pin because it's a little wider on the bottom. I think some of those very large bobby pins may work very well for this. Oh yeah, it gave me more space to grab and everything. So 2 straight lines that go away from the owl's face. And now we can create some nice feet. The feet of birds are a little triangular. So I like to put 2 lines. One going up, one going down. So some nice owl feet and a little hook in the back. Looking pretty good. This owl has feet. What else is my friend missing? Oh, the textures. To create the texture, you can either focus on lines or dots all down the face. Everyone's will be different. I like to start these in the middle and come out because it really reminds me of the feathers of the actual bird. So do your best to create some nice texture and enjoy watching the colors change as you reveal them with your scratching tool. And look at the bottom here. Okay, and I'll work up the wing. Start in the back, the front. Really doesn't matter. This is your owl. You do it your way. If at this point you're more interested in a different sort of pattern, maybe you want to fill in more space, try that. I think that's a great idea. After all, it's your work. Looks like I need to contort the scratching tool a bit to make it the best. For the back of the tail, I chose to put some vertical lines in. Well, I guess you could call them horizontal rather, some straight lines in, and then I added some diagonals to connect it. It's not very clear on my example. What should I do for the body itself? Same dashes. I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm going to dash all the way down the body. Again, amazing artist. If you're not removing the scratch paper or paint like you want to, try a different tool. Toothpicks, a stylus, which is simply a pokey stick, bobby pins, push pins, paper clips. You just gotta find the correct tool for you. I fully believe everyone's house has at least one pokey thing, and maybe a little bit of a hanger that you've modified for art use. Could be a bamboo skewer in the kitchen. Could be a broken fork. Okay, now that I've scratched up my owl, I'm ready for this beautiful design all around the body. If you don't have time or space for this, it's okay. You can focus on this beautiful owl spirit in the center, but if you do, Kenojuak was known for how she would create like a surrealistic quality to her pieces by adding these great designs. So go in 2 directions here because my push pin doesn't want me to go in one direction, or only wants me to go in one rather. See, when I turn it back around it tries to break the paper. And they're like little bubbles, kind of fat on one end and kind of skinny on the other. Yeah, little bubbles. And they go wherever you want them to go. They start radiating outwards And then as they grow, they twist and turn on the paper, filling in our space. There are so many approaches to space in art. Excuse me. Where would you like these little bubbles, tail feathers, and details to go? Remember, there's a lot of space. It's hard to see these in the back. That's actually purple. Purple's a little difficult to see. While we bring this Inuk owl to life, I think I'll take a break and start scratching out the middles of some of my circles. I did this because it just creates the prettiest color. And you just get a chance to really enjoy your scratch art. See what colors are hiding on the bottom. I had to come back and scratch out that middle. That's pretty normal. Some of my tools did great. Some not so great. Some I really had to work. Some they just cut through my paper like butter. They're all a little different. Some colors show up really well. The yellow seems to show up really, really well. The purple, not so much. So whenever I scratch off an area that has purple underneath it, I feel like I'm going to scratch the paper open. And so on. I'm going to fast forward through this bit, feel free. And so on. I'll let you guys finish up your work. I know it may take you a little while, and this video is getting long. Fill in your space with your contrast, amazing artists, to get your own Inuk owl. Again, you could have made this horizontally as a landscape. And this is a slightly different kind of scratch paper. You see my details aren't nearly as fine. So however you create, it's going to be just fine. I'll see you guys next time.